Let's Learn Pleiade HC, the place to be to develop your skills and grow your potential. So today's topic is about how to negotiate your salary. This is something that I receive a lot of questions on as well, and it's part of the work I do when I have people who book me with my career package, because obviously this is part of the negotiation process after you have an interview and you want to get a little bit closer to the offer. So this is something that you'd want to look into more in depth. So I want to give you 3 tips today on how to negotiate salary. So the first thing is to look at the market rates for your profession. Of course, if you don't know this, it's not going to be easy for you to position yourself. You have no idea. So you should know in the country where you are, or in Switzerland, if you're already in Switzerland, you should know a little bit what the market rate is for your type of work. So if you're in finance or marketing, etc., you should have an idea of the market. Usually the people that are very, very helpful, and I include them in my career package because they're very helpful for that particular purpose, is the interim agencies or the placement agencies, because they work closely with companies, they understand the market, they know how much you should get paid for a typical type of work. So I work in close contact with interim agencies so that I can provide you with resources on how to find your market rates, basically, which will be helpful when you get close to negotiation on your salary. Number 2 is that you should prepare an argument for it. So typically people who are new expats in Switzerland don't have a big case because they're new to Switzerland. So typically when you're new to Switzerland, you don't get paid the highest salaries because you don't have the Swiss experience. You don't have experience working in Switzerland with companies in Switzerland. So you still need to learn this part. You still need to learn who are the contacts in your specific industry. You know, obviously someone who's been already in a particular city or an environment would have a bigger portfolio than you do. So it makes sense that someone who's fresh off the boat, so to say, is not going to get the same traction and the same interest, or don't get paid as much. So salaries won't be as high when you're new to a country where you're an unknown entity in that country. So that's why, you know, your argument will be based on your profile and what you've achieved, where you've achieved it. Again, changing countries doesn't mean it's deleting all your previous achievements. But unfortunately, companies look at what you've done in their region, you know, close to what they know. It's just as simple as that. And number 3, find the right positioning. So, you know, whether it's a first job or already established. So you need to understand a little bit, you know, where you are. You know, if you're taking, for example, a first job, same thing. You won't have as much of a negotiation on salary because you will need to be trained more than likely. If you're already established, you have 5 years or plus experiences, especially in the local economy, then of course, you know, you're added value for a company because you probably have contacts that they want. You probably know, maybe you've been trained by their competitor on processes and things like that. So remember that your salary will be based on something that you have that companies really want. Basically, that's what it comes down to. That's where bringing value is that you have something that companies want, whether it's a skill, whether it's a network. So when you're building up your career, think about that. You know, build up those 2 things, your network and your experiences with companies, especially big names. I would really strongly suggest to build up your experiences with big names. This way you're not just selling yourself as the individual, but you're the individual who worked for so-and-so. It's always bringing more impact to your application. So again, if you want more advice, feel free to book me one-to-one. Contact@pleiadehc.com. I will talk to you soon.